Welcome back to They Did What? Your source of thing that's craziest, most entertaining stories where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to do a story titled, 2 years ago, I caught my wife trying to step out on our marriage. She insists that she did nothing wrong, and I misinterpreted the entire thing. Can you give me an outside perspective on my situation? Am I wrong in my assumptions? And a shout out to AM for sending this story. And guys, this story is about a guy who's been married for 13 years, and in my opinion, his whole marriage has just been a miserable experience. Well, a couple years ago, the wife disrespected him in the worst possible way, and then a way he totally can't prove, but we all pretty much know what's going on here, cheating. And now he's divorcing her. But now he's still 2 years later, not quite sure if he's making a mistake. And that'll be a great one to go over here making the point, guys, is that when there's enough evidence out there, enough red flags, and it's as obvious as can be, it's over. You got to follow through. And yeah, 13 years of marriage is a long time, but even if somebody doesn't cheat, but they treat you like crap, and this wife does, it's not worth staying in. Life is too short. And if you stay in it and not do anything about it, then you got no one to blame but yourself. And you're going to see this guy definitely makes a lot of mistakes. He definitely needs material like this. But no man should be treated the way he's being treated by his wife. And she is a piece of something, let me tell you. But ultimately, he's ending it, but you're going to see how this whole thing unraveled, and we can learn something here and hopefully help him out. So his story starts off, says here, first of all, thank you all in advance. Here is my story. I'm currently in the middle of a divorce after 13 years of marriage. I'm asking my question because I'm trying to find a sense of closure and peace, and this whole situation has remained like an open wound for me, preventing me from achieving the peace and closure that I want. So many people come to Reddit to find answers because they can't with any of their people in their personal life. I do not deny my own contributions to the failure of my marriage, nor do I even deny how my own behavior even contributed to pushing her towards stepping out of our marriage, but in the end, she made her own choice to do so. For clarity, I had remained loyal to my wife and my marriage for the entire life of the relationship, and I do believe this guy. 2 years ago, our marriage was already in a rough spot. I had moved to my wife's home country when we got married and left a successful, well-paying career to do so, thinking I'd be able to pursue the same career there. That was not the case. Smack! Are you nuts? You never do that. One, leaving a great career for romance and love, that's not a guy's purpose. And also, don't go to her country. Either she comes to your turf or you go to a new place together. That immediately setting up for her to call the shots. But a lot of guys don't learn this till too late. Eventually, I found myself having to start over again from scratch, and I struggled for years to try to reestablish myself. I was never able to get back to the same place I was before. My soon-to-be ex-wife is a specialized physician with dreams of owning property in the city that we live in. I felt a lot of pressure from her to deliver and generate enough income to help make that dream come true. In time, I realized that was not something I'd be able to do. So there you go. Obviously, wealth and status and success is more important to her than him. And notice, she's chasing wealth and success and purpose, material items, and he was chasing family and love and relationships. Total role reversal. This is the problem we have nowadays. And by the way, she could have had all that if they stayed in his home country because he had a successful career he gave up for her. Never give up your career for a woman. At the time, I had just started a new job in direct sales related to the timeshare industry. It was a dirty, shady business, but it offered a higher income than anything else I had found. I saw it as an opportunity to finally be able to meet my wife at the same financial level that she was at. It was a very high-pressure work and required me to essentially be a lying, unethical sack of crap, my opinion on it, and that's just not who I am. So to even come close to making the kind of money that he thinks can make her happy, he's got to do something that makes him miserable. He thinks he's a sleazeball. I've heard things about the timeshare industry, and anybody that's been in that can chime in the comment section, but I heard it ain't too good. This is a terrible place. This guy's miserable. So naturally, I didn't do too well. It had a very negative effect on my mental health, and I eventually had a full mental breakdown in the middle of all these things. Things were not good in our relationship, and my wife offered no emotional support during this time. In fact, she was openly hostile most of the time. It was obvious to me that mentally she had already checked out of the relationship. So was there any good times in this marriage? Maybe when the honeymoon, a couple weeks afterwards. Probably the second they moved onto her turf in her home country and he gave up his career for her, that did it. She probably lost all respect for him if she hadn't already. But she probably knew he would do that, you know? He's made his mistakes. The thing is, the mistakes he made, he probably doesn't realize that's the one that really caused the problems here. Don't ever do that, guys. Huh? Hear the thunder coming in, guys? South Florida in August. Well, on our 10th wedding anniversary, it came and went without much fanfare, and since it fell on a workday, we didn't do much for it. I had hoped that we'd be able to go out that weekend and try and rekindle something. That same week, she tells me that she was going to go out to dinner with her longtime friend, who is also her boss at a clinic that she does work for. I was a bit taken back at it, as it was our anniversary weekend, and she decided to spend it with somebody else. Dude, the writing is on the wall. She doesn't give a crap about you. Alright, I'm guessing they don't hook up very much. But here's a question. Was he taking charge and making plans himself, or was he waiting around for her to make the plans? It could go either way here. I mean, this guy obviously needs a lot of work. And obviously is the type of guy that follows a woman's lead instead of taking charge. That's a big problem here. But still, she's an a-hole. I felt more than I knew, and I knew where things were going. But I chose not to say anything, just observe. Well, dude, that's great. You're kicking back and observing to see what's going on here, but also sounds like you're being passive and letting her do things. That's not a good idea. The day of her dinner date, I watched her get dressed and ready without saying anything. She dressed to the nines, far more than you would expect for a friendly dinner with a friend, a very successful and wealthy married friend with a history of infidelity. Gee, where do you think this is going to go? Again, I could feel more than know where her energy was and what her intentions were, and it just broke my heart. Still, I said nothing. I just watched her. Smack! Dude, I want to believe that he was doing this just to, like, set her up, you know? But it sounds to me he was just so worn down, which can happen to a lot of guys, so whipped, he wouldn't say anything. And she lost all respect for him. I mean, I could see where she's turned off by this guy, but it doesn't justify her behavior. But look how she's rubbing in his face. She doesn't care. And I'm not sure this is on the anniversary or close to it. I've always been highly sensitive and intuitive, and throughout my life, my intuitions have rarely been wrong, so I've learned to trust and listen to them. Oh yeah? Where was your intuition when you got involved with this woman, when you were going to marry her? And my intuition was screaming at me, telling me what was going on. But I didn't say anything. I wanted to see what was she going to do. To be honest, when she walked out the door to leave that night, my heart broke and I broke down in tears. Bro, she doesn't even have to physically cheat on you. Her actions have been telling you she doesn't give a crap about you. She's finding your replacement, having fun on the side. It's time to end it. Be a man, take charge of your life, and go back to your home country and restart your career. Well, she came home about 3 o'clock in the morning. What do you think they were doing at 3 o'clock in the morning? I was in bed, but wasn't asleep. When she leaned in for a goodnight kiss, I turned away and confronted her. I accused her of stepping out, and all hell broke loose. Well, good for him for saying something. He got to see what happened. Naturally, she denied everything, claiming it was an innocent dinner with a friend. Whoa. And in the middle of all the chaos and tears, she let it slip that her friend hadn't even paid her any attention. Hadn't paid her attention, huh? Oh, well, clearly she was hoping for him to pay attention to her. And by the way, nothing's happening. They're having a dinner at 3 o'clock in the morning. She's coming home. What married woman would do that? One that doesn't give a crap about her guy. My interpretation of that slip was that she'd gone out with the intention of stepping out, but her friend essentially rejected her. She insisted that she had dressed up nice because she wanted to, and came home so late because she had lost track of time. Women don't go out of their way to get dressed to be with a guy that they don't like. Come on here. The next day, when I was doing laundry and going through what she had worn the previous night, I find the matching set of Victoria's Secret lingerie that she'd worn to her dinner date. Dude, how many signs are there that something's going on here? Lingerie? How many married women, after about 13 years of marriage, for you married guys, or guys that were married, were your wives or ex-wives walking around wearing lingerie for you? If the relationship wasn't very good? No. This was a woman who rarely wore things that like that, even for me. See? She is a bit of a prude, and for 10 years she daily wore boring granny panties and mismatched bra. See? Exactly. But just so happens she's wearing the new lingerie set from Victoria's Secret for her not at all date. Oh, and by the way, why is he doing her laundry and handling her panties? Smack! Let her do it. Well, I confronted her once again, challenging her stance that it was just a friendly dinner date, and she was surprised by it. I assumed because she hadn't thought that I would catch that, and again insisted that she had worn it just because. That she had a formal event earlier that previous day to justify why she'd been so dolled up, all of it in the air of backtracking and self-defense. A formal event? What was her formal event? She's wearing Victoria's Secret lingerie. Okay, he says she's a physician. Does she have another job? Another job that he hasn't mentioned yet? Within a couple of days, she apologized and acted genuinely remorseful for what had happened. She's not remorseful. She's worried that she's caught and it's going to mess up her life. I was still devastated and thought my initial reaction had been to end the marriage immediately. I took her apology to heart and thought that maybe it was something that we could move past for the sake of the marriage. Smack! Dude, come on here. Now, obviously we know he's divorcing her, but still. Your marriage is shit. All elements of your marriage is shit. Why do you want to stay with something like this? Unfortunately, a month later, I found that she had completely changed her story. She insisted that she had done nothing wrong, nothing had happened, that I was imagining the entire thing, and that I was in the wrong for daring to accuse her of such a thing. Translation, it was right in front of you she's cheating on you. You caved to her apology. She lost even more respect for you, and now she's gaslighting and making you feel like a jackass, even though she knows, even if she didn't physically cheat, which I have a hard time believing, and I don't think any of you guys believe that she didn't do that, she's still unbelievably disrespected him, going out on a date with another dude at 3 o'clock in the morning, a known cheater, amongst all the other treatment of him. Remember, guys, when women don't respect you, they will never love you. Needless to say, it felt like pouring salt on an already open wound, a real kick in the balls. This had been her default position since then and remains adamant to it. Now, even now, in the middle of our divorce. Well, of course she's not going to back down. She's not going to be accountable. Come on here. 2 weeks after the event, I came into a large inheritance. Foolishly, I thought that the money would help resolve our marriage issues. Smack! Really, dude? You think that's going to fix things? Whoever left him money didn't do it so he could piss it away on some unappreciative cheating a-hole. I spent the next 2 years and most of that money trying to make things work. Smack! You mean buying her affection? How'd that work out for you? It did not resolve anything. Oh, it's a big surprise. In hindsight now, I can see that our marriage ended that night, when she stepped out, at least for me, and nothing could have saved it. Well, dude, I'm sorry it happened to you. It shouldn't happen to any guy, but you didn't help yourself in a lot of the things you've done here. But you can help yourself by moving forward with this divorce, learning from your mistakes, and starting anew. I was just too attached and too afraid to let go. I spent the last 2 years harboring anger and resentment for her, and that night would come up time to time again in our arguments. Dude, don't waste your time arguing with a woman. She's only going to pull this gaslighting crap and make you crazy. She has remained insistent the entire time that she had done nothing wrong and that I was the one in the wrong for daring to accuse her. Please. This has been a deep, unresolved wound in my heart for over 2 years now, and I try as I may, I've not been able to shake it. You can't shake it because in your gut you know that she's full of crap, and it's a rotten marriage. I desire greatly to find closure so that I can finally let this go and be able to heal and release all the anger and resentment that I feel towards her. It's like a poison in me, and I deeply desire to be rid of it. You'll be rid of it when you are rid of her, and then you can heal. But right now, use that anger and that hatred temporarily to get you through this shit and do what you got to do. Then when you're divorced from her and you can leave her country and go back to where you're from, then you can start the not being full of anger shit. What I really want is another perspective here, as there is a part of me that truly wants to believe her, but a greater part of me that simply cannot. I've been in conflict with myself about it. The truth is that I have no idea what really happened that night on her dinner date. It doesn't matter. The level of disrespect she shows you is endless. There's no trust in your marriage, no love. She could have gone and had her brains effed out, or it could have been an innocent dinner between friends. I honestly don't know. The best benefit of the doubt I can give her is that she went out that night with full intention of stepping out on me, but just wasn't able to secure what she wanted. Yeah, and still, then there's no reason to stay with her. My question is, am I wrong in my conclusion? No. Am I seeing things that were never there? And even if I am not, did I overreact in seeing as cheating, even if, as the best case scenario, nothing happened despite her efforts to the contrary? My heart and mind are really at a loss to provide me with a conclusion that can provide me closure with this. I'll greatly appreciate your take and your opinion on the matter, no matter what it is. I just need a different set of eyes to see it and to give me their opinion. Apologies for the length of my rant, but as I stated earlier, this has been and it still is a massive open wound for me. Thank you in advance for your insights. Dude, end it. Continue on in the process. It's been 2 years of hell for you. Actually, it's been a lot of years of hell for you. And divorce her. Even if she didn't physically cheat on you that night, obviously she was trying to. She probably was pissed off that the dude rejected her. She's wearing lingerie, Victoria's Secrets for her dinner. Her dinner that brought her home at 3 o'clock in the morning on a work night. Meanwhile, you're at home and she's out with another man. I get you allowed her to do it to kind of set her up to see what she'd do here. But still, you've made a lot of mistakes, my man. And you have contributed to this by being so passive and a pushover. But still, it doesn't excuse how she's treated you because you've loved her. But she doesn't love you. Her behavior shows that repeatedly. So continue on with this divorce. Move on. Go back to your home country. Perhaps restart your career that you were doing very well at. And don't make this mistake again. Stop being a pushover. Stop trying to make the girl your whole world. You sacrificed your career, your purpose. That's the most important thing to a man. For relationships. And all that was married to her wasn't relationships. What was married to her was success and money and wealth and status. She's behaving like the guy. You're behaving like the girl. But there is hope for you. You can learn from your mistake. You've been married, 12 years, 13 years, whatever. So I'm guessing you're probably in your 30s, maybe 40s at best. You still have plenty of time. Learn from your mistakes, move on, and maybe one day you can meet a gal that, matches what you want. But if you keep making the same mistakes, being a pushover, that nice guy, you'll just attract some girl that does the same thing. But this woman doesn't love you. Don't buy her tears. Don't buy her bullcrap. She's been gaslighting you. You deserve better. End of freaking story. So I'm glad you're ending this, but I'm glad you resorted to Reddit to ask this question. You asked for the question. There you go. There's the answer. And by the way, guys, old comment section is full of dudes saying pretty much the same thing. So he's ending it with her, I believe, but still, it takes a lot for a lot of these guys to see the truth. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.